Now we're being told we need $1 million or more in order to retire. And maybe that's true if we keep living like we do today. But here's what I keep coming back to. Here's what I think about a lot. You know, in 1999, we weren't living luxurious lives. Most of us weren't. And if we were, that standard of luxury is a lot different than the standard we have today. But most of us, we were paying our bills most of the time. We weren't spending necessarily to, upgrade our lives. We were busy living life instead of spending it. And we pulled it off. As Gen Xers, we're trained for a lower cost lifestyle. And that might be our biggest retirement advantage if we allow it. So the real question is what would that look like to bring that back on purpose? Because this isn't necessarily about going backward. It's about recognizing what actually worked and what can still work today. And what I'm starting to see is that it's not just inflation that's making retirement harder. It's something I call the lifestyle tax. All of the extra layers that we've added over the years that have raised our cost of living. And if we don't start questioning that, retiring gets a lot harder. Okay, the first thing is that entertainment didn't used to be unlimited the way it is today. In the 90s, entertainment wasn't a stack of subscriptions. It was a stack of CDs. It was basic cable, maybe HBO if you splurged. Or like me, you only get it when they were offering the free trial. It meant a trip to Blockbuster on the weekends. One CD that you played over and over and over, beginning to end. Now, it's Netflix, Hulu, Spotify, Amazon Prime, cloud storage, apps. And none of them by themselves, feel really expensive. But when you add them all up, whew. So let's just draw a line in the sand, okay? Let's go back to basic cable prices. Remember when it was around $30 a month? Now, if your TV streaming subscriptions total more than that, then that's too much. Line in the sand. It's time for a price adjustment. Just get it under $30 and rotate them every month or so. You don't need all of them all the time. And sure, Blockbuster may be gone, except for that one, I think, that's in Oregon. But we have something better now. We've got free streaming. You've got Tubi, Pluto, Roku. There's a bunch more. And you know what they're running most of the time? Half of the stuff that we watched in the 90s. All for free. Okay, number 2 on the list is the just enough car. Okay, I'm not telling you to go find and buy a 90s car. I mean, you can, but actually, in fact, during the 90s, the car I had was a late 70s model car. But I also remember that whatever we drove, it was fine. Now I feel like a lot of us were trying to impress people we don't even know. An average new car payment can run $700, $800 a month, and that just becomes normal. But the deal is that a paid-off car today is better than anything we were driving back in the 90s. And when that payment disappears, it's like instantly getting a huge monthly raise. So going into retirement, reliable and paid off, that's not a downgrade. That's a strategy. Number 3 is convenience. It's expensive. And it's a sneaky one too. DoorDash, delivery, ready to eat, overnight shipping. We've built an entire lifestyle around things being fast, instant, even effortless. And those small, instant decisions that we make regarding these things, they're not cheap. Now, let me give you a real life example. I like to do that sometimes. Now, I compared a Firehouse sandwich on their app, the Firehouse app, versus DoorDash on their app. Now, first, right off the bat, before you even get into fine-tuning anything, the same sandwich itself on the DoorDash app was $7 more. Now, that was baked into the subtotal, $7. Then there was a $3.50 service fee, and all of that was before tip. Now, if I walked into that Firehouse, that sandwich would have cost me $15. But on DoorDash, $32. I mean, are you kidding me? Now compare that to how we lived in the 90s. The only thing we got delivered was pizza. And even that felt like an event, not a default. Maybe it was, every Friday night with friends while watching Friends. No, wait, I think that was Thursday nights. But what I'm trying to say is that we've outsourced convenience and replaced it with just permanent extra spending. And then that becomes our baseline. And this isn't about never, spending for convenience. It's really about being honest about how much it's really costing you week after week. Because the more you rely on it now, today, the more you're going to want to do it in your retirement, and then you have to financially support it then as well. So, sure, convenience, it does save time and effort, but it also raises your cost of living. So remember that. Number 4 is to travel slower, not bigger. For real, travel right now, it seems to kind of suck. Crowded airports with endless lines, airplanes swerving to miss each other on the runway. And then you finally get to your destination and you're shoulder to shoulder with thousands of other people trying to have the same experience, feeling like herded cattle, and very, very expensive on top of it. In the 90s, travel was a lot different. It was a lot more road trips, longer weekends, a 4-day road trip, not a 18-day European vacation. It meant a cooler in the back seat, stopping at the visitor centers every time you crossed a state line. I mean, man, I would be totally happy with traveling that way again. That's not a sacrifice to me at all. I mean, give me a road atlas, a cooler in the back seat next to the chips and a loaf of bread, destination Grand Canyon. I'm all set. See ya. What I'm saying is that travel can still be the way it was back then and still be enjoyable on a budget, but still incredibly meaningful. Number 5 is practicing healthy habits didn't cost anything or didn't cost much. In 1999, you didn't need a bougie gym membership or a yoga class subscription. You didn't need a spendy ring to tell you how you slept last night. In the 90s, the most money you spent on exercise was maybe a buns of steel tape or maybe a pair of rollerblades that we thought we'd use a lot more than we actually did. I still have the scars from that very short era. Now, were we eating perfectly back then? Heck no. I mean, I wasn't. But we can take what we know now and apply that today. One thing we probably was doing a lot more of in the 90s is we were moving more. And not just because we were younger, but because We didn't cocoon like we do today. We had social lives. We were outside more. And if we retire like it's the 90s, we can carry that over. And if we do, we'll walk more, we'll stretch more, we'll get outside more, we'll find that third place again. Nothing complicated, definitely not expensive, just consistent. Maybe we even turn 90s sunbathing into, now sitting outside in the sun for 20 minutes a day so we can top off our vitamin D. So yeah, improving our health or even maintaining our health doesn't have to be expensive. So now let's talk about how all of this becomes a retirement strategy. This is where all of it comes together. Because it's not just about saving money. It's about shaping a lifestyle that your retirement can actually support. We'll just start doing more of what already worked. Like the library, the local park, game nights, potlucks and picnics and cooking at home more. And instead of paying for convenience, we'll use something that we didn't have before retirement, and that's time. Now, after retirement, you can actually go to the grocery store at 8 a.m. on a Tuesday morning, not at 5:30 p.m. when everybody else is there. Have you ever been to Trader Joe's on a Sunday? Oh, I don't recommend it. Some of us, we might even sell that 3,500 square foot house and buy a small 2-bedroom with low utility bills, lower property taxes. Maybe even condos will be all the rage again, like they were in the 90s, before outrageous HOA fees ruined them. Now, Gen X, this isn't about going backward. It's about getting creative and practical, maybe even realistic about what can actually make retirement a viable option again. We weren't deprived in the 90s, and this might be the real opportunity for us because we already know how to do this. We just have to decide to do it again on purpose. Not constant entertainment, not constant screens, not huge houses, huge cars, not an algorithm making every decision for us. Something simpler, something more sustainable, something we can actually maintain. Because when I look at retirement, I'm not trying to create some luxurious lifestyle that I have to keep figuring out how to fund or how to make ends meet. I just want something a little more normal, a little more grounded, maybe even a little bit reminiscent. Because if the lifestyle works, then the retirement math works. So I would love to know, what's one part of living in the 90s that you'd love to bring back into your retirement? Let me know in the comments. So maybe we forget the 4% rule and saving 10 times your income. Just retire like it's 1999. I'll see you in the next video. Have a great week. Stay Gen X strong. Bye.